everybody. What's up? How y'all doing? How's everyone doing there tonight? I am stuck in traffic, where I'm going to hit you with another, not only mobile episode of the Nobody Asked for This podcast, but another, what I would like to call, quick traffic update. A quick traffic report. Listen, times are tough over here, but I love doing this podcast, so I'm going to do it with the time allotted, you know? There is a buzzing. If you hear buzzing, it is not just in your ears. Well, no, it is in your ears, but it's not of your ears, you know? It's real. It's real. How's everyone doing? Oh, I need an oil change. Yikes. How serious are we about these oil changes? What is the oil? The person next to me is sleeping. What is the oil that is being changed? Also, can I just do that myself? Can I get some, canola? I mean, I'm sure people have asked that question. I'm assuming you do need, motor oil, but, I don't know. I'm confused. For the amount of money I've spent on oil changes, I should probably have a bit more of an idea of what the heck they're actually doing when they're kind of... But it all happens underneath. So I guess I wouldn't be able to do it. When you go for an oil change, you drive over that, pit thing, right? So it's not like you could just... I don't have that at home. I don't have, a built-in oil change pit in my house, do I? How are people with apartments supposed to do their own oil changes? Solo apartment oil change. How do you do that? A DIY apartment oil change. Somebody let me know. Anyway, I hope everyone has had a great week. We are in what I believe is the last week of August, which is absolutely insane. The fact that next episode of the Nobody Asked for This podcast will be occurring in September makes me want to hurl. It also makes me a little bit excited, and it does actually make me want to hurl thinking of all of the candy corn that is to be consumed in the coming months. Now, I don't mean that as in how disgusting. I mean that in how glorious. But, you really can only eat so much candy corn, you know? At the end of the day, it's more candy than corn. Do they make corn that looks like candy corn? I think that'd be a fun invention. But it looks like candy corn, but maybe it's not full candy corn. It's not the candied version. Also, is there such thing as candied corn? I know there's candied jalapenos. Maybe that's how we bridge this gap. I'm going to release a line. I love when it's called a line. I'm going to release a line of candied corn, so that when people say things about candy corn, we can be yeah, well, we all agree, yada, yada, yada. But, have you tried that candied corn? Just a thought. It's just a thought. Again, I'm stuck in traffic, so that's kind of where all these thoughts come up. So maybe sometimes I think I should keep them down, but... yeah, we're not officially in pumpkin spice season yet. However, it's kind of pumpkin spice season. It starts, actually, I feel like it started later this year. I just started seeing pumpkin spice stuff in the last week. And I feel like there's been times I've fully seen it in July. So that's nice. That we waited a couple extra weeks. Now, the weather is not cooperating. It's doing that stupid thing where, like, when it was time for it to be hot, it was cold. And now that it's time for it to start being cold, it's decided it wants to be hot again. If we have another hot September, I'm moving. Even though I can't afford that. But I'm going to do it. Because the weather. Which, speaking of the weather, I'm sipping on an iced cold canned water. Which is a little bit concerning because it does look like some sort of a White Claw. It is not. It is fully just water. But it does look like a White Claw. And I'm scared that people are looking at me in the driver's seat of a vehicle on the freeway, thinking the worst. I don't think the worst, people. Although, see something, say something, because I did once see a Truly can in a parked car, like in the cup holder, and that was concerning. Anyone who doesn't know, Truly is an alcoholic beverage. There was no one in the car, and the can was in the passenger seat, but I don't believe that to be, like, that's not right either. You're not allowed to do that. So I don't know. Yeah, so just see something, say something. In general. But no, how's everybody doing? How's everyone's week been? My week's been, it's been decent. Again, you have good days, you have bad days. Sometimes you're stuck in traffic for an hour and a half. So, traffic really is a metaphor for life. Like, some days you get lucky for no reason, some days you get unlucky for some reason. You can plan, you can wake up early, you can shower the night before, you can pack your lunch the night before, you can stop for a coffee, you can not stop for a coffee. I feel like that is such a test of a human. It's like, when you're running late, do you still stop for your, like, morning either coffee or, like, drive-through? And I think the answer, I don't think it's as cut and dry, like, what it means, I don't think if you stop, that means you don't care about work, but if you don't stop, that means you do, Like, you could angle it as, like, I needed an extra 5 minutes for self-care. And that should be, I think that should be celebrated. Now, as someone who probably would not stop, I would be in that category. I will be looking down on people who do stop, but just, just food for thought. That really should be the name of this podcast. Just food for thought. That's all I can offer. What else? I told you about my canned water. Although I did drop it, so it looks a bit not as fancy as it once did. It looks all dented. Not al dente. All dented. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, I have to do something with that title. All dented. All dented, al dente. Huh. I'm so glad I thought of that while something was recording me. I always forget. I always forget stuff. I have such good ideas, I'm telling you. Okay, people keep cutting me off. People don't let people in anymore. That's sad. I didn't mean that in an emotional sense. I meant that in a physical sense, like driving in a car. Also, in order to do this, I have had to turn off the AC. So, I might be turning into a puddle momentarily. He'll be back again someday. You know what's really crazy? We're in August. It's end of August. October, November, December. Christmas is in 4 months. Which means there's only 4 more months of the year. And what is starting to scare me is that, knowing this information, I have not made a move on my New Year's resolution. Now, anyone who knows me knows that my New Year's resolution is to make a from-scratch yogurt bowl. This is sort of like the year of the yogurt bowl. I don't know if that is just for me or if everyone else has felt that. Again, this weird thing has happened with the internet where it's like so personalized that like you think things are going viral and it's actually not going viral. They're just feeding you the stuff that you've been clicking on. So you get this complex of like, oh my gosh, everyone's talking about Buldak noodles and Wingstop. But it's like, no, they're just showing you the spicy Buldak ramen and Wingstop videos, of which I've had neither. But for some reason is all my phone wants to, all my YouTube shorts wants to show me. Because yes, I do use YouTube shorts and it is a great platform. Do not knock YouTube shorts. I recommend we all go over to YouTube shorts because here's the thing. I've seen Instagram, I've seen those comments. People are nasty. You can barely, like, the functionality of the YouTube app is not one that fosters a community, at least in the shorts department. So, like, let's just go with that. Let's do that. I don't need comments. I mean, I would love comments on this. Maybe I need to become a YouTube short, like a specific YouTube shorts creator. Like, do you know how people are like, oh yeah, he's a TikToker? They don't say that about me, but they'll be like, oh yeah, that's a TikToker. They're a TikToker. They're a YouTuber. I want to be a YouTube short star. Or honestly, I've thought about, like, is MySpace still a thing? Like, does the software of MySpace exist? Can I go on and try and be like the star of MySpace? Because I'd imagine, you know, with my ear to the ground, it doesn't sound like many people are after that crown. And that's what you gotta go for. You know how many people are trying to be TikTokers? There are babies coming out of the womb who have heard about TikTok and are ready to go with their 6-second dances and like medical advice. They're like, do you know how many doctor's appointments I've already been to? I can tell you, like, you know, how to do this and that and how to intermittent fast. Like, it's tough out here, but I don't think anyone's trying to be, you know, the next MySpace star. So maybe I go for that. It's all just ideas. Are they good ideas? Probably not. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Maybe this water is making me smarter. Again, I sometimes wish this was a visual medium, except I don't because that would be terrible, but my can is so dented. It's all dented, al dente. I'm trying to remember, what does al dente mean? I know what it means, but like the direct translation, is it like chewy or something, or like tough? I don't know. I just saw, I know we don't talk about current events as much, but I just drove past a sign for a pickle menu from KFC, in which it looks as though they are advertising a pickle soft drink. And as much as I want to be grossed out by that, truly, I would try it. I would. But what is the obsession with pickles? Like, I love pickles. I love spicy pickles. I love spicy dill pickles. Like, but why does everything have to be pickle flavored? I'm pretty sure Popeyes came out with the pickle menu as well. And like, was that a coincidence? Did KFC hear about Popeye's pickle menu and think, oh, now it's our turn? Anything you can do, I can do better. It's just all so confusing. And then next, we're all doing hot honey. Like, it's just too much. Also, who did the study? Again, as someone who loves spicy food, I'm just curious. Like, who did the study on if something's spicy, people will buy it? And then also, if we're gonna start calling all of these things spicy, can we actually make them spicy? Because most hot honey is not spicy, and most spicy dill pickle flavored things are not spicy. Or like anything called like ghost pepper ranch. Like, no, they put food dye and maybe some Frank's Red Hot. Like, they didn't actually put ghost pepper. But like, they should, if that's what they're calling it. Like, how loosey-goosey are these food laws that we can just call stuff habanero when there's probably not even traces of habanero? Although I guess it's the same reason Oreos can be vegan, not to knock an Oreo. I love an Oreo. Love an Oreo thin, an Oreo more icing or whatever it's called. A golden Oreo. Did they ever do like a twist or like a half and half Oreo? That would be fun too. I know they have cookies like that. Love a flavored Oreo. Yeah. Pumpkin spice, throw that in there. Candy corn. Although I think they did do a Swedish fish Oreo, and while I would try that, I think it might have been too far there. Just a smidge. It's like, at what point are we just like using any idea? Actually, no. They've gotten to the point of just using any idea, because I've seen Oreo flavors recently at the supermarket that I'm sure are great, but it's literally just like people. Like, the flavor is like a person. It's like the Post Malone Oreo. Like, I don't know what flavor that is. And I don't know that I want to. Like, you have to tell us, like, what are we eating? What are we eating? Anyway, I fear the audio is not great, because I definitely hear a ringing, and I need to put the air conditioning back on. So, it was a quick one. It was an al dente. Crunchy, I don't know. But thank you for bearing with me, especially the last couple weeks, and for the future weeks. We're going to be fine, guys. If you like what you heard, you can go to podcastnobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. On there, you can straight up listen to the show, find links to listen on Spotify, Apple, all of those places, and also on YouTube. And if you take the time to listen to these episodes, I really appreciate it. If you don't, all good, and you won't hear this anyway. So I feel good. I feel good leaving on that note. Have a great week. Have a great end of summer. Is it a long weekend? I'm not sure. They kind of pop up here and there. Let people in, whether that be in traffic or emotionally, however you interpret that. Just let people in this year, you know? Okay, goodbye.